They're playing for the title this year without having seen each other. Columbia, Missouri is undefeated. Austintown, Ohio has one loss. Jim Barber and Jenny Dalton Hill. And so obviously, since the last two teams standing, there's a whole lot at stake.
There is, and there's so many emotions flowing through these bodies on the field here today. It's going to come down to who can contain the emotions, eliminate the distractions in the game.
And in the case of Ohio, their experience might be the difference in this game, and it certainly was last year a cool-headed team that won it.
It was. When you talk about these two teams, they've got the experience, they've got returning players, both of them looking to advance to Greenville.
Let's come back and set this game up with two-star pitchers here on ESPN. Change lives. Ohio is the visiting team. Missouri won the coin toss, elected to be at home. This is the starting lineup, batting over 300. And the key, I think, to this group, I would imagine, is the fact is when they get on base, they like to steal some 28 stolen bases so far, Jenny.
They put a ton of pressure on defenses by stealing bases, but being able to hit those runs in has been the nemesis for them. They've scored a bunch, but being able to disrupt the defense is really how they've tried to attack.
They will face Brenna Young in the circle, and Miss Young doesn't walk anybody. Her numbers are fascinating. Walks to strikeouts, 16 innings pitched, averaging 2 strikeouts per inning. This ought to be a fun championship game.
Yeah, when you look at that strikeout number, 32 strikeouts, has only given up 1 free pass. She fills the zone with strikes with 75% strike rate.
And we're off. First pitch off the pitcher, Young to second base. Good recovery by Brooke Stevenson. Annabelle Mikesell, a dangerous hitter, retired on the very first play of the game. And Mikesell coming in to this game over the last 2 years here was batting .400.
Well, and when we talked to head coach Matt Hamley for Ohio, he said we need to attack early. We know that in the circle, Brenna Young is very good. She fills the zone with strikes. So they're looking to swing early and count.
How about that? Right up the middle, Mila Hanley, her 6th hit in the regional, 11 at-bats, batting over .500. Well, 2 batters, 2 swings.
And 2 pitches. I mean, you know that they're trying to attack early, so sometimes what needs to happen in the circle is you need to pitch backwards or start with some of your changeup or slower pitches, knowing that these hitters have timed you up. Let's see what kind of adjustment Brenna Young's able to make in the circle.
In the third spot, the catcher is Marissa Polder, also swinging at the first pitch. To third base, so this is a very quick inning so far. And the fact that only 3 pitches have been thrown and 3 balls have been hit, we're on a fast track.
Yeah, pretty efficient so far. You know that Young loves to fill the zone with strikes, and so far doing a good job of starting each batter with very hittable pitches. Perhaps she needs to take the approach of starting off the plate and coming back to the zone. But usually that's not how Young likes to throw.
If you're new to softball, some of the rules are introduced to you as we go along, and one of them is a pinch runner for the pitcher or catcher with 2 outs in an inning. And so as a result, Mila Hamley, the pitcher, will come back to the dugout and get a rest. It's going to be a pass ball right around third. She's going to try to score. She will score.
Matt Hamley before the game told us, I am aggressive on the bases. I will constantly put my runners in motion. And with that miscue back behind the dish by Lucy Reynolds, it gives Ohio an opportunity to get on the board first. Typical pass ball, but got far away and gave a 2-base advancement.
That was Marissa Polder, who was pinch running for Mila Hamley, who went all the way from second to home plate. And it is 1-0 Ohio, very much interested in playing small ball and already implementing small ball. And there's the pitcher of record today for Ohio, Mila Hamley. By the way, it's a Hamley affair. She's pitching. Dad, Matt, is managing a third and coaching. And Mom is in the stands, and you're going to see Mom on camera a lot today because she gets into it.
Well, and we talked to Mom, Devin, before the game, and she talked about how their emotions are high, and she is going to be loud, encouraging her daughter all game long.
I feel bad I didn't introduce the little sister. You just saw her in the picture as well.
Well, you said it's a Hamley affair, right?
Is it ever? Kind of looks like her older sister, doesn't she? Says she's going to be a good one. Ball, 2 strikes. Top of the first for the championship. The winner goes to the Little League Softball World Series in Greenville, North Carolina, where you will be calling the first couple of games there.
I'll be there at the beginning of the tournament, and just love that event. The way that Little League is able to put on such a class act. So many cool things going on in Greenville.
Back to Young. Over. A run, a hit, a pass ball, and some great base running by Marissa Polder. We'll introduce you to the Missouri top 13 in a moment. All the way around was actually a wild pitch, and their great base running and aggressive base running by Ohio has netted the first run of the game. For Daniel Little League, hitting over 400. I mean, try to pick a stick in here that's not hitting. Go all the way down to 12. And Bree Stevenson, Jenny, has got a hit in their last 6 at-bats.
Yeah, she's been perfect at the plate in her last 2 games. They will need that kind of production at the bottom of the lineup to take down last year's Central Region champion.
And in the circle, Mila Hamley, who pitched in the circle last year and threw a 4-hit shutout. Back again, soft-spoken, not many words from her, but her pitching seems to tell her story.
She has thrown 265 pitches in the last 5 days, but it has been a dominant 18 innings. Those 37 strikeouts come via the rise ball a lot. She loves to go to it for the swing and miss.
So in the Ohio first, just 9 pitches thrown. The first 3 pitches were hit. They were acting like they were double parked outside or something. Quick move through the first part of the inning. Now, it's Missouri's chance. And with this team batting well over 400, it's probably one of the most dangerous offenses that Hamley will match up again. And it's her speed against Missouri's ability to clock it.
And when we talked to Daniel Boone, Little League head coach Steve Regan, he said, we just need to make sure that we're on time. She's going to try to overpower us with her velocity, but if we can time her up, our bats will be able to be successful. Harper
Regan leads off to the Missouri first. Third baseman. Harps turned 13 on June 8th. Sister Afton played in the 2021 World Series. And she likes to play wiffle ball prior to a big game in the parking lot all the time. Hopefully got a good game in.
Biggest wiffle ball game that she said was a big memory for her was at the state tournament. They played wiffle ball in the parking lot, and they were successful in that state tournament. Hopefully that carries over here today.
Is that a superstition or good luck, or what is that?
It's just getting the good feels. You know, when you play the game, you've got to make sure you stay athletic.
Swinging in a 2-0 pitch. To be followed by Berlin Gladbach, Tatum Spry. Managed by Steve Regan at third base. First base coach is William Kyle Spry. And Sam Stevenson. Steve Regan has already announced this is his last year of coaching. And he chatted with us earlier in the week, got choked up talking about it because he has coached a younger daughter and managed now, or an older daughter, managed now a younger one.
Well, those emotions are hard to contain, knowing how important these moments are.
So daughter hoping to please dad here, get on base in the bottom of the first with her team down the road. Going opposite field. And beats it. And Regan now will challenge and go into second, sliding in. Well, whatever Ohio can do, maybe Missouri can do better.
And on a hard ground ball to right field, you often see a right fielder come up like an infielder trying to make that play at first base. Regan Harper fast down the line, able to beat it out, and that throw gets past the first baseman, Ava Fisher, and then is bobbled back behind the dish by Marissa Polder. Because of that, some aggressive base running gets Harper all the way to scoring position.
Brings up Berlin Gladbach, the shortstop, at the number 2 spot. Runner already in scoring position. It's a base hit for Regan and an error on the right fielder, Kendra Lake. Berlin batting .419 in the regional, 5 of 12 with 5 runs batted in. Missouri can hit the ball. Showing punt there, strike call. Home plate umpire is the crew chief, Rich Condrey. Andrew Shriver at first, Dave Ducat at second, Michael Miller at third, and Jim Spade is the alternate. Well, Michael Miller had a busy day yesterday calling illegal pitches, but nobody from Ohio objected. Said Miller has to watch your footing. Strikeout. First of the inning, runner remains at second.
And that was a big hack by Berlin. Gladpack in the box. You know that Hamley is going to attack you with balls up and with a ton of velocity. Look at that placement. Outside corner, continues to trail up through the zone. Great pitch for the first out.
To face Tatum Spry, the left fielder. You so expertly explained to our umpires prior to the game and to our audience yesterday what an illegal pitch is. So let's watch Miss Manley here. Miss Hamley here, and how has she corrected that so far?
Well, and what Hamley was doing yesterday in the illegal pitch calls that were being called on the field was she was striding wide of the pitching plate. The pitching plate is about 24 inches wide, and if she takes that stride with her left foot beyond or wider than that pitching plate, then it is an illegal pitch. It was noticed by the umpire behind the plate, and it was called several times yesterday.
Runner heading to third. Save. Harper Regan, who advanced to second on a throwing error and now steals third. And Missouri is off to the races.
You know both of these teams are so conditioned and ready for this game. With so much on the line, you've got to find perfect execution. And with that miscue that put her into scoring position in her at bat, she now uses those wheels to get herself just 60 feet away from scoring.
With a really good hair at the plate, Tatum Spry was hitting .556. 5 hits, 9 at-bats. RBI chance here. Takes a strike 1 and 2. Now, don't tell anybody. She's got a crush. And after 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think you just put it out there.
I hate when I do that. He's an actor, by the way, in case you're not aware. 1-2 pitch for the runner, third one out.
Well, Hamley continues to try to pound that outside part of the plate. It is hard for big hitters to really put a hurt on a pitch on the outside corner. She knows that these bats at the top of the lineup have very powerful swings. So the batters are making adjustments by putting their toes on the line, expecting the ball outside.
Waits the 2-2 pitch, and that misses as well. 3 and 2. There is no pitch count in Little League softball. There is an innings limit, but that won't be a problem today because this is the championship game, and there's a lot of time off until the next game for one of these teams. Good look at the positioning in the batting order. In the box. Fouls off the 3-2 pitch, so pitch number 7 will be approaching here.
Now, the adjustment you're seeing by Tatum Spry is just taking those toes right up to the line closest to the plate to be able to get the sweet spot of the bat to reach that outside pitch. It has not been a problem so far in this at-bat. The home plate umpire, Rich Condrey, is not calling the ball off the plate, but with 2 strikes, you've got to protect.
Runners at first and third. Good at bat for Tatum Spry, now to the first spot. The center fielder, 28, Mallory Ferrens, who is hitting .444 coming into this game. In fact, every player on this team has a hit and a run scored. 11 of the 13 have that in a run. Spry will take second base, uncontested. See a lot of that in softball Little League. Should have thrown her down there anyway to keep them honest or not?
In a tight game like this, you want to make your defense work, but you don't want to give the advantage to the offense. An errant throw would score a run in that situation, and so they err on the side of caution and just allow the advancement to happen.
Would you do that as a manager?
There are times where I think you should go for the out. It's early in this game, but with just one out, even if you get 2, a run would score and tie it up. You have to have a lot of trust in your catcher. You have to have a lot of trust in your defenders. In that situation, they weren't willing to trade it out for a run.
And facing runners at second and third now with a 2-1 count on Mallory Ferrens in the 4 spot. RBI chance for Missouri. Inside corner, 2-2.
I talked to Hamley before the game and asked her, you know, when you're in a tight spot, where do you like to attack hitters? And she said, I'm not afraid to go inside, and I'll take it there for the strike. That was a really good pitch on the inside corner.
Big pitch here with runners in scoring position in this championship game in Whitestown. Got it. 2 strikeouts for Mila Hamley. Not out of trouble yet. Full baser counted for Brenna Young.
And there's that rise ball. We talked about how she was going to throw that for the swing and miss. As soon as you get 2 strikes on Hamley, you've got to be ready to lay off that pitch in the eyes. It looks good, but you'll probably sit down with the strikeout.
Kids are offered an opportunity to tell jokes in their questionnaires that present to ESPN. Some of them are referred to as dad's jokes, so I hope that doesn't insult me. But in the case of Brenna Young, she said a sloth got robbed by 3 turtles, and the cops showed up and asked, what do they look like? And the sloth said, I don't know. It all happened so fast.
Luckily, that's not how she runs the base.
No. Strike on Young, batting in the 5th position, trying to help herself out.
And what you're seeing with that late contact down the right field line is the fact that she's a little bit late in her approach to the plate. Knowing that Hamley has a ton of velocity, your job as a batter in the on-deck circle and even in the dugout is to make sure that you've got your timing down, knowing that Hamley's going to just try to power it up and throw it by you.
Strikes out the side of the first, and Mila Hamley gets out of a huge jam with runners at second and third. She's dealing right now, is she not?
Right now, Hamley definitely is dealing. She loves the ball up, but she also can paint the corner and freeze the batter to get herself out of a really tight spot. To try to push that number a little closer to the Orioles, while the Red Sox sitting behind the Yankees 6.5 games back.
And Judge, league leading 35 homers. Juan Soto starting to get cranked up. And the Red Sox Durans having a super year in extra base hits. Top of the second, Gracie Fowler leads off to center field, and a running catch by Mallory Ferrens, 1 out in the Ohio second.
Defense so good on both sides of the ball. Just saw some miscues early in this game to allow advancements, get that first run on the board for Ohio. But more than anything, the pitchers in the circle are so tough to hit. Seems like Ohio right now attacking early.
You mentioned defense. Ohio, when it defends, has only 3 errors in the entire tournament. Missouri's comparable, although there was a game in this tournament where Missouri committed 5 errors in 1 game and 3 1 inning. It's kind of an out-of-body experience for Daniel Boone, I thought.
And emotions can make that happen. They just seem to roll into one another, and you can't get your feet underneath you in those moments. The job of a defender is to make sure that you don't let the previous play impact the next play.
First baseman umpire called in real quick. I'm asking about it.
Manager Regan is out and not challenging anything yet, but to converse with first base umpire Andrew Shriver. So he's trying to figure out what this is about as he talks to Young. A legal pitch was called, so perhaps that's the clarification he's looking for. And when that happens, it's an automatic ball, and anything in play comes back.
We've seen illegal pitches called throughout this tournament, and it's hard for the viewer at home to understand what that pitching lane really means. But when a pitcher strides forward to the plate, they have to make sure that they stay within the width of that pitching rubber. So as Young toes the rubber, she has to make sure that that stride foot, the left foot, stays within those 24 inches. She's very close to being wide of that again, and that's where we've seen most of the illegal pitches being called this tournament.
Now, they do allow leaping this year, which has not been part of the rules in the past.
Yeah, that rule change, I think, was needed, knowing that it doesn't really add a ton of benefit to a pitcher to be able to leap. It's the replant, and that is still a leap.
Now on the first baseline, a rocket, and just foul. Third base coach is Matt Hamley. Michael Polder coaching at first. Shelley Severin, who had a conversation with prior to the game, is in the dugout. By the way, the first base coach, Michael Polder, was working at a GM plant that closed. Decided to go back and get his degree, and now he's a dean of students at Austin Fitch High School and a football coach.
Oversees a lot of these young athletes at Austintown Middle School. Actually oversees all of them. He said that was one of the things he was most proud of, is that all of these Ohio athletes attend the middle school where he works.
He said there's more pressure coaching the girls and more emotion. Out on strikes is Lexi Petrella, 2 outs in the inning. His comment was, I can jump around a lot with the guys and maybe, punch a couple in the back, but I can't do that with the girls. It's a little different game. Fifth Athletes Unlimited softball season begins tonight on ESPN2. And the ESPN app team, when Sefkis takes on Alyssa Denham's team, 7-4 Eastern, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, followed by Odyssey Alexander's team taking on Team Sydney Romero in the Parkway Bank Sports Complex, Rosemont, Illinois. Summer of Chicago should be another incredible season.
I'm excited to watch those AU athletes. They'll also be in Greenville playing an AU game during the Little League Softball World Series. So the teams that advance to Greenville will be able to rub shoulders with some of their heroes.
So much has been added to the Softball World Series in Greenville. Comebacker off the bat of Gia Hoops. Not a problem for Brenna Young, inning over. Ohio leads 1-0. Middle of the Missouri lineup when we come back.